Okay, welcome to this really private tour. Welcome at the Innovation Café of this week. I'm Anne Geurt. I'm the founder of Kazerne. I'm the curator of this exhibition. And from now on, I will be the head of Kazerne Foundation and not of the Kazerne hospitality part anymore. So that's kind of news. Today I would love to give you an introduction on what we do here and on this exhibition, because I think we had a couple of innovation cafes already, and not everybody is aware of what we are doing here. So I'm a designer. I graduated a long time ago at the Design Academy, and I'm really proud of my colleagues, and that's why I started Home of Design Kazerne. I think there are still too many people that aren't aware that design is more than just a lovely color for a chair, or even more than a chair, or something that's really practical. It can also be system design. It can be so much more, and we do have some examples here that I want to show you. What we do here at Kazerne is the foundation creates 2 exhibitions a year. We have once a year a Kazerne Design Award that grants, that nominates 10 recent graduates from the Design Academy Eindhoven, and they get the opportunity to exhibit here. They need to pitch during the graduation, during the Kazerne Design Award show, and then the pitch together with their graduation work, that becomes, the winner gets 5,000 euros, so that's quite a good price to start with when you just graduated. Thanks to our sponsor, the Rotary Soeterbeek from Eindhoven. We host this weekly innovation cafe, and from January, we will also start with development tables. So I'm on a mission to contribute to the development of nature-inclusive design. That's not something that we are going to achieve within a decade or maybe 2 or 3 decades. I think we need to start developing design and everything we do in symbiosis with nature. But that's something that's not so easy, and we need good examples to do that. So that's why I want to set up these development tables. One is more related to everything that is in your body, so more food design. One will be related to everything that's close to you, so that will be domestic design. And one is more outside of your house, that will be the landscape design. In these tables, we will ask a student designer, a recent graduate from a design school, and a really experienced designer, and then we have 7 more spots for other people to start to develop integral just on common interests. So like we did with the Bioto Brainport project last year, you just start out and figuring out what's your common ground. Why are you sitting at a table? What's your common ground? What are you enthusiastic about? And then to start to researching the chain from your interest and the chain from the chain. You might find new connections, new solutions, and from that you can start a project. And like this really open development, we will start from in January, so please let me know if you're interested in joining that. And yeah, I'm really curious on how, with an integral approach, we can contribute to more, faster transformation, because I think we really need it. And in my opinion, the outcome should always be beautiful, useful, durable. So this comes from the Indian philosopher Satish Kumar, he's already way in his 80s, and he says if something is not beautiful, why bother? If something is not useful, why bother? If it's not durable, please go away. But these three together, they are really strong. And when you keep that in mind, that beauty is important, just as that it's useful, because when it's not useful, it's not designed, and it might be something else. And durable, yeah, we may not think about anything anymore that's not durable, in my opinion. So this is, in short, what we do here at Kazerne. I will take you through the exhibition. These two projects here behind me, those are both nominees from the Kazerne Design Award last year. And we let them here in this exhibition because the human, non-human part is also represented in here. What do I mean with human equals non-human? That is a part of nature inclusive thinking and acting, is that you set yourself equal to everything else that there is on the planet. So we humans are equal and equally entangled with everything else. So with plants, animals, objects, we are all part of this one system. And when you start realizing that what you do here in the Netherlands, in Eindhoven, can affect something that is happening in Africa, then you, for me, this is a starting point of thinking, okay, I'm still making mistakes, I can't do everything really correct, but I need to start acting more like in symbiosis with everything. The example here of Lotte, of her work. So this is her graduation piece that was already presented at the graduation show last year. This is for a post-human era, actually, designed when people are not on the planet anymore. I don't like that apocalyptical thinking, because I think we need rather hope than dystopia. And yeah, this is a building material made from shells solely, and this can disappear into the sea totally when we humans are not there anymore. So this is meant as a bassin for to be built in the dunes, and then when it resolves, it will open up so it's able that coral can grow and that fish can swim through. And
they have already these kind of things in concrete, but I'm guessing this could be an alternative to just concrete.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point, because concrete is actually also quite polluting. Yeah. And sand becomes rare as well. So yeah, maybe this can help. Yeah.
Because this is also made of partly of sand and also of shells.
It is the soli shells.
Soli shells.
Yeah.
But sand is partly made of shells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Good point.
It skips the concrete part of the process, and you go from shells to furniture, but without having all of these steps of making concrete in between.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
And or something about sea levels rising in the Netherlands, which is why it's so specific to this region.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm quite curious on will we still be able to assure insurance buildings in the lower part of the Netherlands within 10 years from now? That's all questions that we may ask.
it would be interesting if they would only let you build there or insure a house there if it's built with this kind of materials.
Yeah.
What's
So-
a
Yeah, but
herd?
it goes away. So that's the.
Well,
that's
if
the-
it's sunken, then you should not
Yeah.
be there anymore anyway.
Yeah.
And this just becomes a house for the fish.
Yeah. So this was another nominee for the Ben van Kemenade. Sorry, this is Lotte Wiegman. I didn't mention her name, sorry. This is from Ben van Kemenade, also a graduate from last year. As you might see, he already had another education on carpeting.
Woodworking, yeah.
Woodworking, yeah. I think this is a really poetic piece. The wood you see on the top is a collection from an architect who collected this really special wood during her career. And then, it wouldn't stay together because she needed to get rid of it. And then Ben adopted it, and he made this climate cupboard. Actually, it's climate because the young wood underneath the tree, the chunk is giving the moisture to the old wood. So
Which makes it so poetic.
yeah,
That's kind
yeah. So the young take care of the old. Yeah.
And then this trunk moves up in a few years and becomes part of the
might.
collection.
Yeah.
You would. So this wood at the top is the oldest. No, the oldest up here, and then the youngest.
That's what I don't know, but
Interesting.
this is the collection of wood, and that's the new tree trunk.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why are these ones special, or why were they special for the architect?
That's not been told to me yet, but that's a good
Probably-
question.
It's probably to do with the collection of the different species of tree wood.
Some rare ones, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, and it could be sentimental, but I think the variety of different species of tree have something to do with the collection, because it's a sample of how many different types of wood you can have.
Yeah.
And each different tree will have a different kind of property.
Grain mostly is the idea.
Yeah.
But
So-
I think it raises, to come back to the three principles, it raises the question every museum is kind of confronted with. So this wood collection was maybe meant to be wood for producing something else, recycling.
Yeah.
And now it's just on display. So the use is now limited, right? It's now only the aesthetic value, which
Yeah.
I like a lot, of course, but in a way we deprive now this archived wood from becoming a new piece of furniture.
Yeah, but the cupboard is designed.
Yeah, I know the
And
cupboard.
that's the useful design for
that
the
is
yeah.
true, yeah, so the cupboard is of course,
And
it's
also
also very beautiful.
The cupboard will prevent the wood from drying out, so that if you wanted to, when the exhibition
Yeah.
is over and the wood is taken out, then it's still in good condition to create
You can
the
use
art, the
But will
design.
we do
from.
it? Will we do it? Will we really have, will we be brave enough to now take some wood out?
No, we will
think
leave
that's
it
it.
there.
That's a discussion that sometimes I see with the people that really love woodworking.
Yeah,
They're sometimes afraid to use their favorite piece of wood because they run the risk of ruining
I
it.
can relate, yeah.
Shall we go on to that, please?
It looks like sand.
So Aga was here all week telling everybody about this work of her. Aga Blonska, she's an architect. I don't know if you have heard the story.
I had a long conversation.
Yeah. So this is actually her designed without hands. It's designed entirely by her brain with a sensor, and then AI translated it into these forms. So she tries to get into a certain happy mood, and then this is her happy mood. So the waves are her brain waves. The material, I find also striking that is waste from sewing machines. With a bio-based binder, she got it 3D printed, and that's how these forms are. I ask every artist, every designer who is here, what would be your next step into becoming more nature inclusive? And when she presented it, sorry, when she presented it to me first, it had a ceramic coating, and now she left the ceramic coating off. So this is just a dust from wood with a bio binder. And of course, this also works acoustic really well. So I think this is a good design.
With this kind of a generative artwork, one thing that I sometimes, or that it's interesting to see, is to see several outcomes. Because now, so the first question in my mind that I always have, more from the technical side than someone that makes these kind of things, is if she has different thoughts, is it really different, or is it too random, or is it predictable? Where is it within that range? That's always something that I'm very curious when I see generative projects.
Yeah.
Because that's important. Otherwise, it's not really reacting to that thought, or it might be reacting too much to a certain thought, let's say, but then it always comes out with the same shape.
Again, that's a good question. If you look at her website, I think it's...
There's more examples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you also come up with a different reaction to maybe the same stimulus. So is that really the struggle, that it is maybe different?
No, it's more, well, it's more from the purist side.
Yeah.
How well is the data represented,
Yeah,
the data that was collected?
So you really want full control? With
No, I don't want. That's the thing. So I want to know where, I want to understand for this specific project, where is that control?
Yeah.
And even when it comes to brainwaves, there's a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So how much is it really representing a specific person?
The kind of aleatory versus
Yeah,
epistemic.
yeah.
Yeah, good question. Yeah. Let's move on to the next project.
I love randomness. I just want to have a feeling that it can
Yeah, how
be
much is it? How much is it?
This is a graduation piece actually from this year's graduation show from the Design Academy, from Kiki Asner. She collects leather from the hunting in Austria, and usually leather that was derived from hunted animals is not used that much because it has all these scarves. Because when animals are walking in the wood, of course, they get scarfed and so on, and this is usually not worked with. However, in Austria, they have this craftsmanship for the lederhosen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she worked with, what she told me, one of the very last people who can actually work with, are crafted like this. And yeah, he taught her how she could make with the ancient technique this beautiful details in the leather.
Good question. Are these the gunshots that killed the animal?
Not necessarily.
It's stuck in my
I
head. now.
also thought that these were the gunshots that killed the animal,
Yeah, not
but these are more like tick bites or
Yeah,
scratches or something like
I have once
this.
been told that I think it was in this case cows for leather for car seats. They are kept in a region without any fences to indeed avoid this injury, because they all think it's only okay when large areas without fences. I think it. So this is randomness that for me adds a
Yeah.
bit of random.
it's also personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's character.
Yeah, and I think it's important that craftsmanship will stay alive, that we are still able to work with leather with our hands and not letting everything done by machines.
Isn't the origin of design from craftsmen?
Yeah. And even when you're talking now about the transformation of systems, I think it would be very wise if we also learn from indigenous systems, because there were really brilliant thinking people 2,000 years ago as well. And why do we think that we can do everything better?
I had that discussion so much with a friend of mine. It's just a click. Either you accept that we might not be the smartest living beings on the planet ever.
Yeah.
There might have been someone else smarter.
Collectively smarter or collectively
I
more
don't know, it
intelligent.
just feels strange that some people really are against that idea. It's just an assumption that if it came before me, they know less.
No.
Which includes 100 years ago, 200, 1,000, not just 2,000.
No.
But yeah, it's a strange discussion.
The forward just got probably more.
I think there are some beautiful objects here, more that I can tell about, but let's move on to the other. I will just pinpoint briefly this from Sean Malikides. He made this beautiful lighting objects, and I love how you can control it. Yeah. Oh, but wait.
Oh, no, that was too much.
Yeah, it's too much. I need to. This is actually inside, and this is the outside. So let's see. Yeah. And this starts at a certain point, and it goes further away in the range more and more.
The chaos.
Yeah. The lamps from Tom van Schoonhoven that are casted from material from a very old principle as well. So this looks like concrete, but it is not.
Do you know what material it is?
It's different materials. So every lamp has a different material.
Okay.
It's also from waste products.
Well, and they are maybe not waste products anymore.
Yeah. That's upcycling.
Yes.
The 1,000 Suns from Duncan Carter. 10,000 tiny suns, actually. And here the mesmerizing light of Will Laslet. That is the falling light. They're a group of artists from London, and they had a great success at the London Design Festival, and they came here. We will move on. So this was just rebuilt today. The acoustics here are not that good. I hope you can hear me well. I give 2 art history lessons at the Design Academy every year. And the 2 first years, and a lot of students, of course, a lot of students in their first year are not that well known with design. So here at Kazerne they can see design, touch it, and get the story behind it. So yeah, I think that's really nice to give the students that opportunity. And at the end of the class, I always ask, well, who is willing to work at the bar at Kazerne? Who is willing to work in the service? And of course, who is willing to join us for the program? So last April, 10 students came to me and said, yeah, well, we have a nice project and we are willing to work with you with the program. So we call them Kazerne Young. We have a budget to work with them together, but they also are working together with a lot of other people, and that's quite striking. Because, yeah, they already managed to get 1,000 square meters of land here in Eindhoven, where they may build flags and experiment with it. So this is a neighborhood in Eindhoven. There will be housing within a decade, I guess, but for now they can experiment with the land and see what they can do. So they need 100 days to have the flags. We had the first exhibition here already opened up in June. And this is now a couple of months later, right before Design Week, they created this new exhibition. And yeah, I think if you see their second-year students, what they do already now, you can imagine within 4 years or 2 more years what they are doing then. I'm really proud of how they develop and how they also push themselves. During the Dutch Design Week, they had a workshop here. Like every day, they did another stage of reworking flags. So this actually comes from their land. And they started to break it and spin it and weave it and felt it, and then in the end, this they already created from their own flags. During the ambassadors' dinner from the Dutch Design Week, they created linseed cookies, linseed bread. It's really fun to see how they work with flags.
And it was all explained at last week's Innovation Café.
Yeah.
Which is also online, I guess.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, but now you also see their exhibition. And so, yeah, everyone who wants to work with us, please just tell us and then we will see what we can do. There's a lot of work to do. Shall we? There's another room, but it's still taken. It's rented out to a certain company here from Eindhoven region. We don't mention names. So maybe we can go back to the big room with the exhibition. So when the applications came in for this year's Dutch Design Week, for me what the common ground was, besides our mission to become more inclusive, is the interface between your online life and your real life. But what is real and what is not? That was of course also the theme for the Dutch Design Week this year. But we spend so much time of our life being online or being in our computer literally, that is that your real life or is the physical life where you can touch each other, is that your real life? And I found all the pieces as sort of an interface for that. And then the contrast between this beautiful, really elegant, super fragile lamp made out of washi. So that's a root from Japan. It's a very ancient technique and they revitalized it. The contrast of this compared to the very, very bold lamp over there, the pixel light.
Compact, thick.
Yeah. That was for me also to start thinking about the human and non-human and where does what is your real life? This is totally bio-based material and it can be deassembled also totally. Every piece can be reused. So the materials are actually both kind of the same. This is 3D printed, that's also printed.
3D printed?
Yeah, this is 3D printed. Yeah.
Each voxel is printed separately.
Yeah. What this does for me and for my eye is that I think the resolution is too low. It needs to reload.
But you would like this to be a high resolution?
No, not.
Oh no, your eye is saying
but
that.
my eye is thinking like, oh, the resolution is bad.
Yeah,
See the
something is wrong with my
pixels.
eye.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the edges are very sharp.
yeah.
On the other hand.
There's always I think something beautiful about a cube. Perfect cube is something digital like this, where the lighting in video games and the lighting in computers, let's say, is never perfect, not yet. But then you see that in reality with perfect lighting because nature. So then the contrast between those details you would not see otherwise on the computer.
And then the pure nature wall hanging over there. That's part of the Roots exhibition that was presented also already last week. This is from sheep from Claudia's land. Claudia Jongstra Claudie Jongstra, sorry I said it wrong. Sheep from her land dyed pure with crops from her land. And for me it's quite striking how vivid the colors are. And then when I say this, I think like, where did we went wrong? Because we were able to dye and create with vivid colors already for thousands of years. And why do we think now that this is special?
Because you cannot mass produce this.
Yeah, actually, there is a way also to mass produce it, but it's not chemical.
Probably more costly, I'm guessing.
Maybe, yeah.
Which I'm not saying that's I'm not saying that's it's not correct, but cost and quantity. That's usually the reason why we don't see things with more detail.
Yeah, but then when you are talking about cost, who is going to pay for something? Because when it's chemical and it does harm to nature, then in the end someone else is going to pay for it than the customer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was very inspired by two architects from England. They created a full-grown chair. You can look it up on the World Hope Forum. They had a beautiful talk. They researched the chain and the chain from a wooden chair. So from the very smallest screw from the machine that gets the seed in the ground from a tree, until the very smallest screw from the machine that delivers the packaging to your home with a certain wooden chair. If you think of all the energy that is needed, you can't imagine that there isn't anyone who is paying the price. Why can a wooden chair be 25 euros? This is insane. So to rethink that we need to become more aware of what is a value and what is, who is paying the price. I think, yeah, that's what we need to do.
I even heard that architects calculate a price for earth, like certain, I don't know how to call it, but it's like all in all what costs for earth.
Yeah.
And they calculate
The environmental
like
impact
CO2.
on Earth.
Yeah.
It's like many measurements.
Yeah.
But
I think that's what we need to start developing, that we create new value models on what a price really is.
yeah.
Those two architects, actually, their full-grown project is that they started to grow chairs. So they have
shape them as they grow.
as they grow. Yeah, it's amazing, and now they become very rare art pieces, and they are you can't pay for it anymore. So, but this is a really good thinking on. Yeah, it's a good exercise on how we can create a new system.
But for example, sometimes it's not just the price is not 25 euros, because doing something locally would save you a lot of money. So in the end, it could come down to the same price, just with the difference that is local.
But isn't the advantage of a high price that people maybe pay more attention? So if something costs a lot, you're maybe more careful with your chair or your mobile phone, and then don't dispose it that early.
Yeah.
And that's of course also this tension with, for instance, the housing crisis. So is it necessary that an object like a house that lasts for several generations has to be paid back by one generation?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I see the group just left so we might visit there.
And that one is also part of the exhibition, right?
Yeah.
Looks interesting.
Yeah, that's a good one. 10 minutes, okay, 10 minutes. So this carpet represents the drought in California. It's actually traveling to California, and it shows where there should be more wetlands instead of drylands. So that's what it represents.
It's like from data collected.
Yeah.
Interesting. Data visualization with
Yeah.
technology.
We only have 10 minutes film, Zoe, so just, yeah.
We can just film that side.
Yeah. So this is also Kazerne, like here you are able, at Kazerne you are able to eat, meet, sleep between all the design pieces. And here was a group having a meeting. Now they left so we can enter the room again. This is also recent graduates from the Design Academy, Emma and Basha. They present this as sand castles. So inspired by the blown up from a glass molecule, they created these forms, and with this they built like sand castles. So this is pure fun, and that's also something that we don't need to forget, that creating and playing with forms is also really important. And then when you create something this beautiful with it, what's also useful and durable, because it's 80% recycled glass, and glass can be recycled totally. That's a nice personal gesture. We only have a few more minutes, so I will... Okay. So this ceramic is from Fabrikaat, from Nijmegen. This is pure Nijmegen clay from the Waal. And they had a Japanese artist in residence. And what they are trying to, what they are researching is new ways of glaze, because the glaze is very polluting. So the cups are glazed with beeswax. This is with come on, Nederlands. Met, I'll get there. This is also with glass glazed, and this is with waste from organic. It's organic waste that's the glaze. And of course you can see the Japanese handwriting in the pieces. This piece from Iris Nijenhuis is a statistic. So it was this big when she came here right before the design week. It was knitted by people from with a distance to the labor market. They created it. They were here as well, really proud on what they did. And then it grew and grew and grew. During design week, you can pick your color according to a statement. So the statement was, for instance, would you pay more if it's more durable? Would you be more careful with your products when it's... So there were lots of people working on this statistic.
And each person can add a piece.
That could be, not anymore since she's here now, but yeah.
Like they are.
Yeah. The piece over there are wasted wraps
curtain.
from, no, it's from the straps from
bunches.
the design week, the bunches, yeah.
Ah, I could have brought some.
Yeah. Yeah, you can pick your part, maybe you can.
Yeah, indeed. I added mine. I forgot which one.
I prefer products that contribute to the social integration of multiple groups, even if they're not perfect. It's great.
Yeah, maybe you can have a shot and then we move on to the last piece that we're going to talk about today. We will go to the moon. One step.
Where we are, where we are to be.
So this is the moon by relative distance. Also from London, they came with the other guys. And it's really nice to see when you walk outside right now, you see this. So this is the actual moon right here, right now.
And it changes over time?
It changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Light.
This is what it does. And I have a special feature because I can play it fast forward. So this was a month of your life, playing fast forward. And for me, what I feel when I see this is that I really feel the universe and how the speed of the Earth traveling through the universe, and that we are part of one system and that we need to take care of each other. So that's what this piece of art is telling me. And this is basically the end of the tour. So, do you have any more questions?
Everything was really, really clear. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the tour and for the nice curation. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, well, okay. I hope to see you next week, and yeah, join us at the Innovation Café at Kazerne.